Arin Sime, CEO and founder of WebRTC.Ventures, here at the NAB Show in Las Vegas. Just checking out a really interesting conference on broadcasting. Obviously a huge conference, celebrating 100 years actually. Pretty amazing to me to think about any tech conference that tech organization that's 100 years old. That's pretty remarkable. And we've been working with WebRTC video technology since 2015. That seems like a long time. The standard itself is barely 10 years old at this point. So, an industry that's 100 years old, well, that's even longer than we've been talking about Safari compatibility issues with WebRTC. So, sorry, Safari people, a little bit of a low blow there. It's gotten a lot better. Don't worry about it. This conference covers all sorts of things from all aspects of the broadcast industry, traditional cinema, film, television, sports broadcasting. There's a lot here going on with WebRTC as well. It's not all just about hardware. It's a lot of things going on that are based on WebRTC applications as well. So let's take a little ride in an EV through the Vegas Loop and check it out. One of the things that is a big topic here definitely is remote production, and that's a big area for WebRTC applications. A lot of great applications of WebRTC in that space. One of the speakers I saw yesterday talked about kind of the history of broadcast production and different transitions it's made over the years. Talked about how during the pandemic, a little bit of the nomadic style was the term that he used, because it was really all about do-it-yourself home production techniques. There wasn't a whole lot of technology built for that, but now as we've come out of the pandemic, it's really about virtual and cloud-first remote production techniques, not so much nomadic anymore. And that's a really interesting space to consider. Lots of great applications and use cases for that involving WebRTC. A couple interesting demos that I've seen. The Switch, really interesting. Remote production tool, all cloud-based in the browser, doesn't take a whole lot of bandwidth, and they showed a nice demo in the booth of that being used with a sports podcast. You can stream out to social media from that, so that's definitely interesting. Also attended a talk by our friends at Dolby, the Dolby streaming platform, which is based on a Millicast, which they acquired a couple of years ago. They showed a really interesting demo of their WebRTC branch of OBS for incorporating remote streams into production tooling. Also showed a number of interesting demos about clients on the Millicast platform who've done remote production tools and various use cases. So lots of interesting stuff with WebRTC. And then, once you have the stream built into it, what about DRM, digital rights management? That's something interesting I've learned about this week. Visited the CastLabs booth. I thought about DRM originally as just like if you're doing a watch party application where you have like a sports broadcast or a movie or TV or something like that, where absolutely DRM is very important. But there's really a lot more use cases for it beyond that I hadn't considered, that they help me to think about, for example, ed tech online training type of scenario where you want to protect the content, make sure somebody can't just screen grab the video that you're presenting in a virtual learning solution. Incorporating DRM to that will prevent them from being able to capture that screen grab. So that's a one example. Maybe also in particularly private or secure telehealth type of applications or corporate presentations where you might want to incorporate that as well. So that's pretty interesting. And then of course with WebRTC, there's a lot of great things about the technology. Lots we can do to help you optimize your application to work at scale. But if the network that you're on stinks, then there's not always a whole lot that you can do in the application itself. So interesting presentation I saw by Caton Labs about a AI intelligent routing network that they use to reduce packet loss and really have some pretty incredibly low error rates. That was a really interesting presentation. Maybe something kind of foundational that you might use underneath a WebRTC application with really high reliability requirements. But ultimately, what it all comes down to is building the applications for it. That's certainly what our role is in the marketplace, building custom applications for WebRTC-based solutions, whether that is the actual broadcasting itself, maybe using a partner for that, their platform, or other collaboration and meeting tools around the broadcast experience. That's where we come in. So definitely, if anything piques your interest in that, we'd be happy to speak with you. Just check us out at WebRTC.ventures. Also had a chance to meet up with one of our clients who's here, Todd Ducharme from Offset. We built a really interesting tool for him that can be used in the remote production space and collaboration around that, called Offset. Let Todd tell you a little bit more about that.
I'm Todd Ducharme, co-founder of Offset. We are an online unified communication platform built specifically for the film industry. We take three major components: real live camera feed, persistent audio and video chat, as well as real-time text messaging to allow remote collaboration and communication within the actual set. So coming out of the pandemic, we realized there's a huge opportunity for disruption in how communication is being done on set. More and more agencies, clients are trying to have the ability to communicate remotely, not have to be on set. So with those types of communication delays, that can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars on set. There's a tremendous amount of solutions and offerings for remote collaboration in the editing and post side of the production pipeline, but very few people are focusing on that beginning stage of the pipeline, which is the actual on-set production. So giving folks the opportunity to collaborate remotely as things pertain in real time on set is an opportunity for huge cost savings, both from a travel standpoint, but also being able to make those real-time decisions can save hundreds of thousands of dollars on any set. One thing I would also say about Offset is we are building this for filmmakers. We are filmmakers within our organization. We have over 50 years of filmmaking experience, so it is built by filmmakers for filmmakers.
That's it for this update from the NAB Show in Las Vegas. If there is anything in this piques your interest, we'd be happy to talk to you more about building your custom application. Just check us out at WebRTC.ventures.